And now on to 3:24. Being justified as a gift by his grace through the redemption which is in Christ Jesus. Now, remember that verses 23 and 24 are part of a larger section of thought that Paul is developing here, beginning back in verse 21. The idea here is that righteousness has been revealed apart from the law, and this righteousness comes through faith in Jesus, the Messiah. And that righteousness goes forth to all, whether Jew or Gentile, because there is no distinction, because both are incriminated in sin. And that righteousness is the thing that justifies the sinner. This act of justification comes to the sinner as a gift from God, a gracious and redeeming act carried out by Jesus himself. Now, it's very important to understand this mechanism here, this chain, this sequence. This is the very foundation of what Christians believe. And it's very common and popular to have this misconception that Christians are purveyors of guilt and nothing more. Nothing could be further from the truth. Reality is that Christians should see the world with the clearest perspective, through the most no-nonsense of lenses, unafraid of identifying sin for what it is, with the understanding that God has moved and acted in such a gracious way that there is redemption from that sin in the person of Jesus. And Christians are not purveyors of guilt, but champions of redemption, because we stake everything we believe about the world, about reality, the universe, on this truth. Not that God promises to rescue you from every bad life circumstance or every crooked thing in the world, but that God has given freely the gift that saves you from you. It's the little things that incriminate us, the moment of slander, the judgmental thought, the careless word. Even if those things are not our normative behaviors, those momentary flashes reveal that which is disordered in the human spirit. And God has not promised to rescue you from those things, at least not on this side of eternity. We'll get to that much later. But he has handed down righteousness to undeserving people in spite of what is disordered inside of them. And those who depend on that righteousness, that which does not come from themselves, not their own righteousness, those are the ones who are redeemed and justified. And this is very counter to the way the world has thought, has always operated, and still operates. It runs in the face of that. And this is what makes Romans such a profound and important book for Christians to study, because it takes us right into the very heart of the gospel and into the most internal parts of the Christian faith. And if you do not have an understanding of this, then you do not have an accurate understanding of Christianity. And there's no way around that. These are the sections that most people tend to get wrong, when, especially, like Hollywood, when you're watching a movie and you see a Christian, or someone who's supposed to be a person of faith say or do something, and you're going, they would never say that because they don't actually believe that. It's usually because these are the parts that people just completely misunderstand. And that's why it's so important to take time and track the context of what Paul is saying. So we'll continue studying this section of Romans in the next video.